You've got it. It is, again, my great pleasure to introduce today Christina. I about forgot. I get up here, you're all crazy. Christina, we are pleased to welcome her. This is not her first time with us, and we're delighted that we have her back. Christina is the co-founder of Mystic Energies and a devoted teacher of spiritual growth, healing, and transformation. Christina brings years of experience in the fields of energy work, tarot, and shadow integration, and has supported many in our broader community through seasons of change, release, and renewal. Please join me in welcoming Christina as she shares with us today.
You just ready to jump right into the meditation, eh? Let me get some things organized here and clip this on so those on YouTube can hear. Will I ever not be nervous? Will there ever come a point? Hi, guys. Like she said, I'm Christina. I'm from Mystic Energies. If you haven't found us yet, come find us. I basically offer up a healing space here in Bullhead City, and it's rooted in Bullhead City and expanding to my home base in Indiana, so I'm super excited about that. And what do I do? My work is basically like an intersection of your soul and your shadow. And so I spend a lot of time in people's shadows and helping them to integrate that and bring that back into their current existence and into their bodies so they can live a more full and authentic life. So lots of different healers around, but when you want to cry and get crazy and lose your, you know what, I'm your girl because I can sit in that ugly, and because I've been there, and it's a really people always say like, why do I always cry when I'm with you? And I'm like, it's a release. That's the goal. You know, we want to feel it, to heal it. So that's what I do. And you're probably wondering, see, I'm already off script. I over prepare every time, but probably wondering like why we have fall behind us and why I'm in my boots and my dress, and I am not confined by my current circumstances. So that's what I say is like, it's fall to me. The autumn equinox is tomorrow. And I'm ready. I'm ready to strap on the boots and put on my long sleeves and wear my fall colors and fall into that energy of release. So the sun can't tell me that I can't celebrate the autumn equinox just because I live in the desert. So that's where I'm at today, and I'm thankful that Natalie invited me back. This is the third time, and the second time when I came, I was asking you to invite the heat in, right? We were igniting that fire within, and today we've called in that fire. We found our power, but now we have to make room for all of that inside of us. So the autumn equinox is helping us with the aligned release. Okay, so before we start, let's just kind of ground in because I can get a little squirrely when I'm up here. You breathe, I breathe, we all do a little better. So go ahead and take a breath in and allow your body to soften just a little bit. I'm going to do the same. And I want you to ask yourself this question silently to yourself. What are you gripping? What are you gripping that you already know deep down is already changing? It's already on its way out. But you're still holding on to it because you think that's what you're supposed to be doing, and you fear, and you don't trust, and you don't release to trust what's coming next. So drop in and just ask myself, what am I gripping? It could be something huge. There can be some tiny little habit that just needs to go. Right now, you don't have to fix it. We can't fix everything right away, right? So just become aware of what you might be holding on to a little bit too much. So as I mentioned, the wheel of the year, it's turning tomorrow. And so for people like me that follow the Wheel of the Year, it's called our Thanksgiving. So try celebrating Thanksgiving now and trying to find plates and napkins and all the things. It's not super easy, but this is the pagan Thanksgiving, and it's called Mabon. And we had our gathering last night, and it was awesome, and we loved it. Like I said, it doesn't matter that it's still hot out there. But for you, most of you think of this as the autumn equinox, right? And so this is when day and night share equal parts. It's a balancing point, a still point, and in ancient times, this moment of balance was seen as a sacred point. It's a portal where the veil between light and shadow are thinned, allowing you to have more freedom and to move more freely through the realms. Because, right, sometimes it can get hard being stuck here in this realm all the time. If I had my way, I'd be in this realm somewhere up there, because that feels a whole lot better. But I have to be rooted, I have to be grounded, because I have a human body, and I have a purpose that I'm supposed to do in this human body, as all of you do. So we can't always live up here. Sometimes we have to root and pull down. So in spiritual traditions of old, this was more than just a seasonal change. It was a call to release, to let go, to return, and to root. And for us, it's not just a poetic idea, something that we see on a pretty tapestry. It is a spiritual practice. And we ask, what is complete? What wants to fall away with grace, right? We don't want to just chuck it in the bucket, we want to do this with power and grace. And then asking, not only once we release, what can I offer back to the earth with reverence and thanks? So as we release, it's not like, just take this out of me. Like, I don't want this anymore. Get it out. It doesn't feel good. We have to have gratitude for all the things that we've accomplished, all the milestones that we've hit. Because oftentimes we're stressed because we're so stuck in the moment that we forget that we're living in what we prayed for so long ago. And that is my story, and I'm sure it's your story too. So sometimes we just have to step out of that reality and be like, wow, where was I 5 years ago? Where was I 10 years ago? We're not the same people. We shift, we grow, we change, our circles change. And so gratitude is a huge part of Mabon, because it's not just releasing, it's being grateful for the experiences that we've had. So balance is the key to the autumn equinox. So I'm going to share a personal story, I usually do, about me and my struggle with balance. So for a long time, I found myself pouring into every single person who walked through my doors. And that was long before I had a metaphysical shop. Just if you were in my energy field, it was my job to make you feel better. Even if you didn't care about me, I wanted to make you feel better. So as a natural empath and healer, I felt intuitive to give and offer comfort and even energetic healing without ever asking for anything in return. It's just like, love me, and I want your love by loving you back. But we realized early that just because we love somebody, it doesn't mean they're going to love us back, right? And so with that, I ended up burning out. I began to feel the cost. I was emotionally stretched thin, no boundaries, and I was absorbing every emotion of anyone that came in contact with me. And when I opened the center, it didn't change. I still energetically was absorbing everybody's energy, and it maybe even compounded greater because they were coming to me to feel better. And so I'll just take it, just pour it in, you leave it here and you go on and feel empowered. And I resisted making changes. I told myself this was just what service looks like, right? This is what we do. They need me. Nobody needs me. I need me. That's the only person that really needs me. But Spirit showed me a deeper truth. And it says, you cannot stay in alignment if you are constantly depleted. Right? So say that with me. I cannot stay in alignment if I am constantly depleted. What I had mistaken for generosity was actually self-abandonment. So think about that. Every time you give yourself away and there is not an energetic exchange on the other end, you are abandoning yourself. And what I thought was compassion turned into quiet resentment. Not because I didn't care, but because I wasn't caring for myself. Have any of you felt like that? Pour and pour and pour. Yeah, we got hands. So what did I do? I knew I had more work to do. Like our work is never done, right? So I created sacred boundaries. And early in my recovery and my healing, my coach would be like, boundaries. And I'd be like, we're not talking about those. It's time to hang up the phone, because boundaries meant people leave. Boundaries make people not love me, and I want everybody to love me. But now I love that word, and I'm the coach using that word for everybody else, because that's what keeps us sacred. It's what keeps us safe. They always say boundaries are not for other people. Boundaries are for us. And so that was the first step, sacred boundaries. I practice energetic hygiene. I am grounding, I am shielding, I am cleansing, and I honor my time. And I try, not perfect at it, but I try to do it without guilt. And we are so wired for conditioned for action, for being a human doing, that I don't know about a lot of you, but I struggle with just being. I struggle when it's downtime. Like, I don't have to do anything. Nothingness? What's that feel like? Cycling through YouTube and watching other people do stupid things, that's my downtime. Because my brain, like, I can't just sit there and do nothing. So then, let me watch other people make fools of themselves. So, and that seems to be my pattern. Like, I'll go all day, enjoy my wife, we'll have our time. She goes to sleep and I stay up and watch people get arrested and do crazy things. Just, it's like mind rot. Like, I just need a few moments where my brain isn't thinking about anything other than nothingness. That was totally an off tangent, but that's my world. That's what I do. And she's always like, you just need to go to sleep. But it's like, my brain needs just a little time. My nervous system needs just a bit of time for nothingness. And so we need to practice that and not use doom scrolling as the outlet. I'm human. I need to practice that as well. So what I learned is I wasn't putting up walls. This was my process of learning how to receive. And many of you know, when you give me a compliment, I'm like, I don't even know what to say to that. But I need to learn it, like there's balance. You give and you receive. And I learned to protect my light and to know my worth without guilt. And that's what I invite all of you to do. Know your worth without guilt, that it is okay to put yourself first. As I said, I'm still learning. I am a recovering people pleaser, and I catch myself giving back into overgiving. But I come back to this truth. Alignment cannot exist in depletion. So now I'm going to circle into, so that's my story. That's who I am as a human. Now let's go into some mythical lore and wisdom about the autumn equinox. So we're going to go a little deeper beyond me into the rich and the ancient seasonal lore. So across many traditions, that's the word that's trying to come out, this time of year was seen as the rise of the crone. Many of you know the triplicity, the mother, maiden, and crone, the wise woman archetype, the keeper of ancestral wisdom, the sovereign elder who teaches us to turn inward. Many of you are probably in this season right now. It's a powerful season. The crone, she's not about death. She's about truth. She shows up when you're ready to unmask, to simplify, and to prioritize what matters most. So raise your hand if you feel like that gender does not matter. You feel like you're in your crone era? All right, let's bring it on. The wise person. In Celtic tradition, I can't say that word today, I guess. Tradition is not a word that's coming out of me. The equinox marked the time when the veil begins to thin and the land prepared to sleep. And people gathered in circle to share their harvest, not just their crops, but stories of lessons, their regrets that had been turned into wisdom. And they honored Mother Earth, shifting into her descent, not with fear, but with reverence, because they knew the descent was sacred. How many of you know the story of Persephone, right? There is also the story of Persephone from Greek mythology, who returns to the underworld at this time. She's not a victim, she's a queen. Just remember that. She walks willingly, carrying her seeds of transformation, and her journey reminds us that shadow work is not exile, it's evolution. And so we always need to be going inward to see what needs to be integrated, even if it's ugly. And then we have the raven from Norse and Druidic traditions, and it's seen frequently during the season. And the raven is the keeper of prophecy, a symbol of memory and magic. It is said that the raven perches near a soul during times of personal reckoning, urging and nudging us to ask, what wisdom have I harvested this year? So think about that yourself. What wisdom have you harvested? And then the raven will also ask, what must I leave behind, right? Because there's that balance, gratitude and release. And what will I carry with me into the dark season? What do we celebrate? What do we release? And what still remains that we're going to bring with us? In more modern mysticism, we call this the season of unbinding. It's a time to release soul contracts, outdated versions of yourself, and energetic entanglements that keep us from our own personal sovereignty. So imagine your world like a garden, and you're asking yourself, what needs pruning right now? What roots have rotted? And what seeds want to be planted but can't until the soil is cleared? The equinox is not the end. It is simply a sacred pause and a portal into deep presence. So I'm going to have you guys interact with one another because you know that I do that. And take a moment to connect if you're comfortable and turn to the person next to you and share one word that comes to mind when you hear the word release. But worth it. All right, so hopefully you were able to share, and you never know, maybe that someone sitting next to you spoke a word that Spirit wanted you to hear. Sometimes our messages come from our neighbors, and sometimes we just have to be wide enough and open enough to hear Spirit move. So I like to give I like to give practical magical wisdom everywhere I go. And I try to break the stigma that magic has to be woo. We like some woo, but most of the magic that happens right here. And it's daily practices that we do every day. So, candlelight reflection, super easy. Autumn equinox is tomorrow. It doesn't matter what your path is. The seasons are changing. We are equal balance of dark and light. So light a candle tomorrow at sunset and speak aloud what you're ready to release. And envision the flame transmuting it. Okay, super easy, right? That's not hard. If you have a candle, it doesn't matter what color it is. I mean, we can go into color theory and color magic, but we won't. You pick whatever color candle you want. Another one is cord cutting visualization. A lot of people think they have to come to me to get a cord cutting, but you can do your own cord cutting. You can cut people away, you can cut things away every day. Like, you have the power within you. I absolutely can help you and guide you, but it is within you. So imagine a thread connecting you to a person, a situation, a pattern, or just even an old you that you're just done with. Like, you're just tired of your old BS just showing up over and over, and you're just like, are you ever going to grow? We're going to grow. We're going to take those scissors out and we're going to visualize clipping that cord. And then I want you to send both ends of the cord into the light. And just know you have the power to cut those ties. And then another one that's super easy is you can do an elemental offering, which would be really nice for tomorrow. You can pick any element you want. So if you're always in your head and you love air energy, or you have a lot of conflict going on, give an offering to air. Or if you need more grounding, or opposite, you're depressed and you're really low, give some kind of offering to earth. If you're in your emotions or you need to feel more emotions, because it's balanced, there's both sides of that. Water is for your emotions and your feelings and connections and relationships with other people. And if you need some spark, light up that fire. And any of you that have been around me very long, you know I love fire. I love to burn things, to transmute, and to shift energy. So those are easy, right? And that's all magic. That's magic that you can do any day of the year. You don't have to wait till the autumn equinox to actually do this. Okay, so now we're ready for our meditation. Does that sound good? So go ahead and turn inward. Close your eyes. Settle your body and slow your breath. And in the morning meditation, we had a golden forest, and today in the service, you get a twilight forest. Amber lights filter through the crimson leaves. The air is still. And you're just walking a winding path. Each step, it's soft and it's sacred. And in your hand, you carry a satchel. And inside this satchel are energies that you're ready to release. And as we've learned, we're not going to do this with anger, but with full gratitude. As you're walking, you arrive at an ancient stone altar. The raven watches from a nearby branch, and the wind stirs. And there are no signs, but somewhere deep inside of you, you know that this is a place for an offering. You kneel, and one by one, you take the contents of the satchel and you place them on the altar. Go ahead, clean it out, and leave it right here. Lay down your overgiving. Pull out your guilt of saying no and place it on the altar. The fear of being misunderstood, or maybe the mask of being I'm fine. the energy of I'm not safe. I'm not enough. And anything else your soul whispers to you right now, empty out the remaining contents of your satchel. The earth seems to receive them, and the trees exhale, and the crone nods in the distance. She is pleased. A golden light begins to form in your chest. Soft, steady, and sovereign. This is your beautiful energy returning to you. It's your beautiful fire, no longer scattered. Your energy fully claimed. Feel into that. And repeat inwardly, I release with reverence. I receive with grace. I rise in alignment. And just let that echo through you. I release with reverence. I receive with grace. And I rise in alignment. You bow once more. The raven takes flight. And you walk back through the forest. Because we can't stay here forever. And you know you're lighter, clearer, and deeply held by the turning of this wheel. So when you're ready, return to this place and open your eyes. You're not made to carry everything. You are made to carry only what is true for you. This season may shed like the trees. May you soften like the soil. And may you remember the sacred power of release, not with fear, but with your own magic. So thank you for letting me share this moment with you, and so it is.